It was a cold January morning, the kind where the air bites at your skin and every breath hangs in the air like a ghost. The world seemed hushed, blanketed in frost, as if holding its breath for what was to come. At the sprawling Intel campus in Hillsboro, Oregon, the day was just beginning. The sun barely crested the horizon, casting long blue shadows across the silent parking lots and glassy office buildings. Employees trickled in, bundled in coats and scarves, their faces set with the focus of another workday. Some chatted quietly, others hurried along, lost in thought, unaware that this morning would be anything but ordinary. In parking lot C, a single silver sedan sat apart from the rest, its windows fogged over, the car eerily still. It was unusual. Most cars arrived in clusters, but this one was alone, as if waiting for something or someone. A security guard making his rounds noticed the car. He approached, his footsteps crunching on the icy pavement, and tapped on the window. There was no movement inside, no startled driver, no sign of life. Peering inside, the guard's breath caught. A dark stain spread across the seat, and a hand rested motionless on the console. The unnatural stillness inside the car told him everything he needed to know. Something terrible had happened here. This was no ordinary morning nap. The parking lot, usually a place of routine and order, had become a crime scene. Yellow police tape fluttered in the wind, cordoning off the area as officers arrived. Soon, the campus was transformed. Police cars with flashing lights lined the lot. Detectives moved with purpose, and the usual hum of office life was replaced by the tense energy of investigation. The news spread quickly. Something tragic had shattered the morning calm. Inside the car was Kenneth Fandrich, known to friends and co-workers as Kenny. He was slumped in the driver's seat, a gunshot wound marking the violent end to his life. The shock rippled through the community. How could this happen here? Kenny was just 41, a pipe fitter who had worked at Intel for years. He was well-liked, respected for his skill and his easygoing nature. Colleagues remembered him as someone who always had a kind word or a helping hand. Security footage from the lot showed Kenny arriving for his early shift, parking his car as he had done countless times before. Nothing seemed out of the ordinary until the moment everything changed. But the cameras also captured something else. A Maroon Minivan, its headlights cutting through the morning mist, leaving the lot just minutes after Kenny's arrival. The van's presence was sudden, its departure swift and silent. The minivan became the focus of the investigation. A ghostly figure in the grainy footage, its driver hidden in shadow. Who was behind the wheel? What had they seen or done? The questions multiplied. Was the driver a witness or the killer? What motive could have led to such a cold-blooded act in the heart of a corporate campus? As detectives pored over footage and searched for clues, the hunt for the Maroon Minivan and the person inside began in earnest. The answer to Kenny's murder, everyone hoped, was somewhere in the shadows of that cold January morning. Who was Kenny Fandrich? To some, he was just another face in the crowd, a quiet presence in a bustling world. But to those who truly knew him, Kenny was so much more than that. He was a man whose life touched everyone around him in ways both big and small. A man loved by all, Kenny had a warmth that drew people in. His laughter was infectious, and his kindness seemed to know no bounds. Whether it was a neighbor in need or a friend going through tough times, Kenny was always the first to offer a helping hand or a listening ear. Friends and family described him as reliable and kind, the sort of person you could count on no matter what. He was the glue that held his circle together, the one who remembered birthdays, anniversaries, and always made time for those he cared about. A skilled pipe fitter by trade, Kenny took pride in his work. He was known for his attention to detail and his unwavering dedication. Colleagues respected him not just for his expertise, but for his willingness to mentor younger workers and share his knowledge. Kenny was a family man, devoted to his wife, Tanya. Their love was evident to anyone who saw them together. He cherished their quiet moments at home, and he worked hard to build a life filled with love and stability. Together, they shared dreams of a future, plans for a bigger home, maybe children, and growing old side by side. Their hopes were simple, but deeply meaningful. His life was peaceful, without enemies or dark secrets. Kenny was the kind of man who avoided conflict, preferring harmony and understanding. He lived quietly, content with the simple joys of family, friends, and honest work. That's why his death was a shocking contrast to his life. The news of his murder sent ripples of disbelief through the community. How could something so violent happen to someone so gentle? Detectives faced a puzzle. Here was a man with no enemies, no history of trouble, yet murdered in cold blood. The case made little sense on the surface. There were no obvious motives, no criminal ties, no secret life waiting to be uncovered. The investigation seemed to hit a wall at every turn. All that remained was Kenny, a good man, whose life ended violently and inexplicably. His memory lingered, haunting those who loved him and those seeking justice. The investigation needed to dig deeper, to look beyond the surface and uncover the truth behind the tragedy that shattered so many lives. As detectives spoke with Tanya, a new picture emerged. Kenny had felt watched, stalked by a maroon minivan. He changed routes, documented strange occurrences. The fear grew, eroding his sense of safety. Tanya shared this terror, seeing the change in Kenny. Their home, once a sanctuary, felt unsafe. Who was behind this? Kenny had no idea. The stalking was random, inexplicable, and deeply unsettling. It was a silent torment, a prelude to something worse. The whispers in the shadows were about to become a scream. The night of January 24, 2012 was routine for Kenny. He left for his early shift, unaware of the danger ahead. His predictable routine made him an easy target. Security footage revealed the killer's chilling precision. Cameras were disabled with black spray paint. A masked figure waited in the shadows. Once Kenny arrived, the attacker struck. The struggle ended with Kenny's murder. The maroon minivan, seen leaving the scene, was the killer's escape. The killer had left little evidence, but the van was a crucial link. Who would want to kill Kenny Fandrich? Detectives focused on his inner circle, speaking with Tanya. She revealed the stalking and a name, Dr. Stephen Milner. Milner, a neurologist, was Tanya's former boss. He had developed an inappropriate infatuation with her. After she rejected him, the harassment began. The stalking had a face and a name. Milner's obsession with Tanya and the maroon minivan connected him to the crime. The investigation shifted to a hunt for a doctor. Dr. Stephen Milner was a respected neurologist, but beneath the surface, a dark obsession festered. His fixation on Tanya spiraled out of control. Detectives built a case: jealousy, obsession, and opportunity. Milner denied involvement, claiming an alibi. But evidence mounted: a gun purchase, campus research. The case was circumstantial, but powerful. Milner was the only person with a motive. The police needed one final piece of evidence: the van. The maroon minivan was the case's linchpin. It connected Dr. Milner to the crime scene. Detectives sought the van for forensic evidence, but Milner claimed he had sold it. The van was traced to a salvage yard, then destroyed. The crucial evidence was lost forever. The destruction felt deliberate, a move to cover tracks. The loss of the van was a devastating blow to the case. Without the van, the case against Dr. Milner weakened. The district attorney faced a difficult choice. The case was circumstantial, lacking physical proof. Prosecutors decided not to file charges. For Kenny's family, the news was crushing. The case was declared cold, but not closed. It remained open, waiting for new evidence. The murder of Kenny Fandrich became an unresolved case. Justice was thwarted by a crushed piece of metal. Years have passed since that cold January morning, but the chill of that day lingers in the hearts of those who remember. The world outside has changed, seasons have come and gone, and life has moved forward for most. Yet for some, time seems to have frozen, forever marked by the events of that fateful dawn. The world moved on, but the pain remains for Kenny's family. Every day, they wake to the same ache, the same unanswered questions. Photographs on the mantle are reminders of happier times, now overshadowed by loss. The laughter that once filled their home has been replaced by silence, and the hope for closure grows dimmer with each passing year. The loss of the minivan haunts detectives. It was more than just a vehicle. It was a crucial piece of the puzzle, a silent witness to a crime that refuses to be solved. Investigators replay the case over and over, searching for something they missed, haunted by the knowledge that a single mistake may have cost them the truth. What evidence was lost when it was crushed? What secrets did the minivan hold within its battered frame? The answers may be gone forever, buried beneath twisted metal and forgotten paperwork. Each piece of lost evidence is a door closed, a path to justice blocked. The case is a reminder that truth needs proof. In the courtroom, facts matter more than suspicions. And without evidence, even the most obvious truths can slip through the cracks. Justice is not just about what is right, but about what can be proven. The legal system has cracks, and sometimes killers slip through. The halls of justice echo with the footsteps of those who never found answers, and the shadows of the guilty who walk free. For every case solved, there are others that remain shrouded in doubt and regret. Dr. Milner was never charged, the case unsolved. His name lingers in the files, a question mark that refuses to fade. For the investigators, the file marked unsolved is a constant reminder of the limits of their reach and the weight of unfinished business. The minivan's loss defines this story. It is the missing piece, the absence that shapes every memory and every theory. Its disappearance is a wound that never healed, a question that will never be answered. It symbolizes the loss of certainty, closure, and justice. For the family, for the detectives, and for the community, the minivan is more than just a vehicle. It is a symbol of everything that was lost and everything that might never be found. The ghost of the minivan drives through the memory of this case, a haunting presence that lingers in every retelling. Its absence is felt in every shadow, every silence, and every unanswered question, echoing through the years as a reminder of what was lost and what can never be recovered.